Rafflesia, if that's how the game's name's actually pronounced, because I suck at pronouncing obscure names, is a weird and wonderful vertical scrolling shoot 'em up created in 1986 by Corland, an equally weird and wonderful company who made such great games as Brain and 4D Warrior. Yeah, I've not actually heard of those shoot 'em ups either, but I've been told they have a very own unique feel to them. Rafflesia is a very, very strange game as old school shoot 'em ups go, mainly because it has so many unique and weird touches that make the game feel original in its own right. For example, the boss of the game, Rafflesia, is named after the game itself. Now, okay, that may not be too sort of, mind-blowingly original, but those shining little orb things that my ship is collecting powers up my lasers. You need to collect those orb things to actually make sure that you can fire your gun. Now, what if I was to tell you those orb things were actually Rafflesia's tears? That's right, you're collecting the tears of the boss that you're supposed to be killing at the end of the game to power up your ship to your lasers. And if that's not a weird sense of irony, then God knows what is. Let me just state this straight away. What I really like about this game, it's hard, it's relentless, and there's a lot of variation. It's hard in the fact that the game just throws enemies at you in a horrendous sort of pace. It's not like, old 2D shoot 'em ups like 1942 where like the planes just plod along. These guys literally come at you full whack, and you do get some real kamikaze like style enemies like those flying bees, for example. The game also has a lot of variation. There are lots of different types of enemies in each of the levels, all with each different sort of like movement patterns and attack patterns and stuff. This makes the game a lot more interesting to play. It's also different to a lot of shoot 'em ups because a lot of them like use the same sort of planes which have the same sort of like attack formations and stuff, and you tend to find it with the older games, so to speak, that you get bored of them pretty quickly because they just literally just throwing the same old boring enemies at you for like 16 levels or something, I don't know. The bosses, they're also very well done. They prefer a challenging but fair sort of experience, so to speak. They're not cheap in any sort of way or form, but they do throw a lot of bullets at you, especially for an old school style shooter. Also the presentation of this game, the graphics, the sound, is enchanting. Like, it's different to a lot of shoot 'em ups that were around at that sort of time. Although, okay, the music and the sort of sound does like get a bit repetitive after a while, but that's the same for all old school shooters, really. I mean, you try playing 1942 for 2 or 3 hours doing all 32 levels and you'll know what I mean by that. Overall, this game is brilliant. I mean, it's an undiscovered gem. I feel that more people should actually check this game out because it deserves more credit than it actually got. Anyway, this gets a big thumbs up from me.